Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moments. BTS's Day 3 concert in Mexico City felt different from the other nights. Amid the dazzling stage lights and the cheers of thousands of armies, it was the small moments that left the deepest impression. Jungkook's eyes constantly finding Jimin, his gentle and protective gestures, and Jimin's sincere kindness toward a fan who was crying emotionally during the concert. Everything felt so natural, warm, and emotional, as if that night held a story that could only be understood through their glances and quiet actions. In today's video, we'll talk about the sweetest and most touching moments from BTS Mexico City Day 3 that made ARMYs unable to forget the night. So make sure to watch until the end. Speaking about BTS's concert in Mexico City yesterday, there was something about that night that felt different. The atmosphere felt warmer, softer, almost as if the air inside the stadium carried a story meant only for two people. On the third day of the concert, the stage was filled not only with music, cheers, and emotional tears, but also with an unmistakable admiration between Jungkook and Jimin. Amid the roar of thousands of armies filling the stadium, there were countless small moments that somehow felt even more powerful than the grandeur of the performance itself. From the very beginning of the concert, the energy already felt unusual. Jungkook has always been known for paying attention to Jimin, but this time his gaze felt different, calmer, longer, and much softer. The way he looked at Jimin felt like someone falling in admiration all over again, as if that charm had never truly faded despite all the years they had spent together. His eyes kept lingering on Jimin's face, completely captivated, like someone who momentarily forgot about the crowd around him just because one person was standing in front of him. What made everything even more touching was how natural those moments looked. Nothing felt staged, nothing seemed forced for the cameras, and it never looked like simple fan service on stage. There was a sincere admiration there, warm, calm, and impossible to hide. Even during such a massive concert, Jungkook's gaze toward Jimin became one of the smallest yet most unforgettable details for many people. Because sometimes, the simplest kind of attention becomes the hardest thing to ignore. Every time Jimin moved, Jungkook seemed to follow him instinctively. The way his eyes tracked Jimin's movements felt almost automatic, as if his focus always returned to the same person. Amid the bright stage lights, the huge visual effects, and the endless cheers echoing through the stadium, Jimin still remained the center of Jungkook's attention. And precisely because it all happened so naturally, the atmosphere felt even more real. Then came another moment that touched so many people. Once again, they were sitting far apart, separated by the people around them. But even with physical distance between them, Jungkook's attention never truly seemed to leave Jimin. His body language unconsciously revealed everything. His shoulders slowly turned toward Jimin's side, his eyes kept searching in that direction, and his entire posture looked like someone naturally drawn to a single point. It felt as if there was something inside him that always returned to Jimin without even needing to think about it. Even without physical touch or dramatic interactions, the atmosphere between them remained obvious. Jungkook kept looking pulled toward Jimin, as if Jimin was his own personal gravity. Among thousands of people, the noise of the stadium, and the sea of army lightsticks, Jimin still remained the easiest person for him to find. And it's details like that that feel the most genuine. No dramatic dialogue, no huge scenes. Just simple gestures quietly showing how deeply someone cares for another person who means so much to them. Often, small gestures like those speak louder than thousands of words ever could. Then came another moment that made it even harder for people to ignore the dynamic between them. In the middle of the crowded and chaotic concert atmosphere, Jungkook could be seen gently pushing others aside to create space. But there was one very obvious exception: Jimin. His actions felt instinctive, protective, and incredibly careful. There was no hesitation in the way he reacted. The difference was impossible not to notice. Around others, Jungkook stayed playful, relaxed, and spontaneous as usual. But whenever it came to Jimin, his attitude softened immediately. The way he kept his distance carefully, paid attention to Jimin's movements, and made sure everything around him was safe felt like a reflex that came naturally without any thought. That's what touched so many people. Because attention like that usually doesn't come from something intentionally performed for the public. It comes from habits that have been built over a very long time. It felt as if, in Jungkook's mind, accidentally hurting Jimin was something he genuinely wanted to avoid at all costs. There was a different kind of softness there, something difficult to explain yet very easy for anyone watching to feel. That night in Mexico City eventually became more than just another spectacular BTS concert. Behind the stage lights, the booming music, and the ocean of armies filling the stadium, there were tiny details that left the deepest impression. The way Jungkook looked at Jimin, the way his body constantly searched for Jimin's presence, and the way he became so careful around him all felt like small glimpses into a relationship filled with comfort, care, and admiration that never truly faded. And maybe that's why their moments always feel so special to so many people. Because it doesn't take grand words to make someone believe attention is real. Sometimes, one lingering gaze, one instinctive move to protect someone, or one small habit of constantly searching for the same person in a crowd already says everything. But among all the moments that night, there was one small incident that left perhaps the biggest impact on many hearts. During the concert, the camera captured a close-up of Jimin as he noticed a girl in the audience crying emotionally. Amid the roaring stadium and the cheers of thousands of armies, Jimin's attention immediately shifted toward her. Without hesitation, he took off the hat he was wearing and handed it to the girl with such a soft and sincere expression. The moment happened so quickly, yet its impact felt enormous. Not only because that hat would probably become a lifelong memory for the fan, but because of the way Jimin treated people with so much empathy. He always seems able to make every fan feel seen, appreciated, and loved, even in a concert as massive as that. There's a sincerity that's difficult to explain whenever Jimin interacts with ARMY. Not just the relationship between an idol and fans, but like someone genuinely wanting to return the love he receives. Jimin's facial expression during that moment touched even more people. Nothing about it felt rushed or merely polite. The way he looked at the fan felt deeply attentive, as if he truly understood the emotions she was experiencing. And perhaps that's exactly why so many people feel so emotionally connected to him. Jimin has always had the ability to make even the smallest interactions feel incredibly meaningful. It's no surprise that more and more people continue to fall in love with him every day. Jimin isn't loved only because of his talent, voice, or stage presence, but also because of his incredibly warm heart. The way he notices small things, understands other people's emotions, and provides comfort through simple gestures makes so many people feel genuinely touched. Behind the spotlight and immense fame, Jimin still comes across as someone gentle, humble, and full of kindness. And maybe that's why the love for Jimin feels so immense all around the world. Because in every smile, glance, and small action, there is always a real sincerity behind it. He doesn't just appear as a global idol on stage, but also as someone capable of bringing warmth to the people around him. The concert in Mexico City that night eventually became a night many people will remember forever, not only because of BTS's incredible performance, but because of the small, deeply human moments throughout the show. Between the booming music and the sea of purple lights filling the stadium, there was care, admiration, and softness that felt impossible to ignore. And in the end, it was those simple details that made the night feel far more emotional and unforgettable. Mexico City Day 3 wasn't only about BTS's grand concert, but also about the care, comfort, and sincerity reflected in their small moments together. From the way Jungkook looked at Jimin to Jimin's kindness toward ARMY, everything made the night feel incredibly emotional and special. If you have a favorite moment from this concert, write it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more Jikook Moments updates.